There are many scary creatures in the ocean. And remember, that's all we know. 95% of the ocean is unexplored. But today we're going to look at the scariest deep sea creatures that have been discovered. So let's get right into it. The first creature we're going to talk about is the goblin shark. Known as the living fossil, the goblin shark has a long snout, a jaw that sticks out, and pinkish skin, and it looks really scary. It lives in deep ocean waters around the world. So nobody's safe. This thing's everywhere. Could maybe even be in that pool. So since this video is about deep sea creatures, this shark lives in some pretty deep water. And the range is really big. It's from 100 meters to 1,200 meters. And that's a lot. Not only does this shark look scary, but it also is really good at attacking prey. The shark's jaws can shoot out extremely quickly, and that's like its special feature. So yeah, it's scary and deadly. So don't let that thing go near me. Now luckily, since it lives so deep, these sharks are rarely seen by humans. But they still look and are extremely creepy. But enough with the goblin shark, let's go to the second deep sea creature that's really scary. Number 2, the anglerfish. So I feel like everybody was introduced to this fish from Finding Nemo, but I'm still going to tell you about it. So obviously the anglerfish has a glowing lure on the top of his head, and it's used to catch prey, or rather attract prey, because its big ass mouth will chomp on the prey. Now these things live in extremely deep water, around 2,000 meters or 6,600 feet. But if you live by the Atlantic Ocean and you somehow get that low into the water, be prepared, because they're coming. Because you know, your average Tuesday involves going 2,000 meters deep into the ocean. Ocean Gate type shit. So I mentioned the mouth of the anglerfish, but look at those teeth.
Oh, hell no!
Now their ability to emit light is pretty cool. I don't think many creatures can do this. He got a light bulb on his head. But yeah, this creature is terrifying. Now let's go to the third deep sea creature on my list, the giant squid. This creature is huge and hard to find, but this thing can grow up to 43 feet long and have tentacles that have sharp suckers. Now this creature lives around 300 meters to 1,000 meters deep, and what's really interesting about the giant squid is how big its eyes are. It's one of the biggest animal eyes in the world. Those guys are always watching, like that woman from Monsters, Inc.
Watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
So apparently their big eye can help them see dim light. So its massive size and mysterious nature have inspired many legends and myths. And this creature is obviously really rare and scary. But now let's go to my personal favorite on this list, the Japanese spider crab. Now during the day I work at a camp and I went on a field trip to an aquarium and I saw this creature in person. And let's just say it had the kids crying. Known for its huge size, kind of like me, it has legs that can stretch up to 12 feet. What the f***? And it basically just looks like a giant underwater spider. Now the worst part about this creature is that it is pretty close to us compared to the other creatures on this list. The Japanese spider crab lives in the depths of 150 to 300 meters deep. But luckily, hence the name, they live in the Japanese coast. So thank God I live in America. Now despite its scary looks, the Japanese spider crab is a scavenger, which means it eats dead animals and plants. But its long legs and intimidating body make it one of the scariest creatures in the ocean. Now here's a pretty cool fact about the Japanese spider crab. These things can live up to 100 years. So some of these crabs are like older than humans, which I think is pretty crazy. But now let's move on to the next creature. Let's take a look at the frilled shark. Now this creature looks more like an eel than a shark. It is long, like me, and has a slender body. It also has rows of needles for teeth. So that. Now the frilled shark lives in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, at around depths of 200 to 1,500 meters deep. These sharks are slow-moving predators that rely on stealth to catch prey. Now what's really cool about the frilled shark is that it's an ancient species, with a lineage dating back 80 million years. And what's crazy is even if you lived 80 million years, you still wouldn't get a girlfriend. So yeah, this shark is extremely unique and old-fashioned looking, but it is still absolutely terrifying to look at. Now let's get into the final creature, and if you're scared of bugs, look away, because we're looking at the giant isopod. Resembling a giant pill bug, the giant isopod can grow up to 16 inches long, just like me. The range where this creature lives is pretty big, but it's sometimes found decently close to the surface, 170 to 2,140 meters. So still not close, but you know, closer than others. So this creature lives in many oceans, the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. But like the Japanese spider crab, they are also scavengers, feeding on dead marine life that fall to the ocean floor. But their armored bodies and large size make them extremely interesting and scary to look at. An interesting fact about these creatures is they can survive without food for a long time. But yeah, those were 6 deep sea creatures that are terrifying. And if you enjoyed this video, I can do a part 2 looking at more creatures. But for now, I would really appreciate it if you watch my latest video here and you subscribe to my YouTube channel here. See you in the next one.
Please subscribe.